Hi, everybody. Pastor Vern for January 5th, 2021. As we move into our new year, um, we're talking a little bit about the disciples, those close followers of Jesus, and one of the things that's kind of interesting about them is that some of them were skeptical and reluctant to be followers of Jesus. Some of them seemed to catch on to it right away. And yesterday we talked a little bit about Thaddeus, who was a little bit of maybe a little hot-headed, maybe a little bit militaristic about how he wanted to see Jesus move into the position as King of the Jews. And so today we go to Nathaniel. Now, Nathaniel is also known as Bartholomew in the scriptures. It depends kind of where he shows up. But he had an interesting introduction to Jesus. Once again, we don't see too much of him in anything except the fourth gospel, John's gospel. John's gospel was written more on eyewitness facts instead of any kind of interpretation of what Jesus was doing. And so with John, sometimes we get some information on just the daily day life of Jesus and his disciples a little differently than we get it from the other gospels. Well, Nathaniel shows up in this one as a friend of Philip's. And when Philip had discovered that the Lord, when he had met him and had seen that there was something about this person that he really needed to pay attention to, he went to Nathaniel and said that, I found the Messiah. I found the one who God has sent to liberate us, to give us the leadership to take the rightful place in the world and in the kingdom of heaven. And Nathaniel goes, yeah, not so much. Maybe Philip, I don't know what you've been into, but I'm not so sure you're right about that. He was skeptical at least, but Philip introduced him to Jesus. Now, this is where Nathaniel got a shocker, and I think there's a lot of us come to Jesus this way. Not necessarily exactly this scenario, but the shocker that comes to you. Because he takes Jesus to meet Nathaniel, and Philip does. And I don't know where they're hanging out, but they're someplace. And Jesus says to him, as he meets him, he says, "Here is a true Israelite in whom there is nothing false." Well, Nathaniel's a little taken back because, you know what? I have never met this guy before. Philip just brought him over, said he was the chosen one, and I kind of need to judge that for myself. And so Nathaniel immediately says, well, how do you know me? How do you know that I am a true Israelite with nothing the false? And Jesus says, I saw you when you were under the fig tree before Philip called you. Well, that, there was no way he could have physically seen him under the fig tree before Philip called him, but actually that's where Nathaniel was hanging out. See, oftentimes people would rest in the shade of the fig trees. They had these big leaves, and they would shelter a fairly good area from the sun. And, with that, he was surprised, he was shocked, he declared, Rabbi, you are the Son of God, you are the King of Israel. And, even though Nathaniel only had a few words in the Gospels, those words were pretty powerful. Rabbi, you are the Son of God, and you are the King of Israel. For someone who was skeptical, at least, thought maybe his pal Philip was, I don't know, finding some hallucinatory things that were causing him to be a little bit off kilter. But those few lines reveal a lot. That a common man, even a man who had some doubts, had some reason to say, hey, I just don't know if this could be right. Once he met the Lord and Savior, once the Lord and Savior revealed himself to him, he knew that this was Jesus, the Christ and became a loyal follower. Well, that's what we know about Nathaniel, or at least a nutshell, a little bit of Nathaniel. Remember to take good care of yourselves, watch out for others the best you can, and stay safe. And we'll see you later.